Here we're going to go through a couple of examples of simplifying expressions. So whenever you have an expression that has some parentheses, before you start moving anything around and combining like terms, you want to first get rid of those parentheses. So for example, this is saying -4 times everything inside the parentheses. So we're going to take the -4, multiply it by -10w. So this is saying -4 times -10 times w. So you're just multiplying these together. -4 times -10 is +40, and then you have your w. Now let's multiply -4 times +5. Negative times a positive is negative, so it's -20. Now let's do the same for the next grouping. This is saying 6 times everything in the parentheses. So 6 times 11 is +66. And then 6 times -5w, again that's saying 6 times -5 times w. So we're going to multiply the 6 times the -5 and we get -30. And then we have our w. Now from here, you could just identify your like terms, maybe put symbols around it, like one underline under the ones that have W's, and then squiggly lines here. Or you can use the commutative property, which allows you to rearrange numbers that are added together to group those like terms together. So for example, I can put the 40w here, and I can put this -30w over next to the 40w. So I'm going to move that up to the front. And then I'm going to have my constants, so the -20, the -20, and the +66. At this point, we can more clearly see what our like terms are. We can combine these w's. 40 minus 30 is 10, so 40w minus 30w is 10w. And then combine our constants. -20 plus 66 is like 66 minus 20, which is +44. And there we go. On the next one, we have some fractions. And so what I would do before I start distributing, since some are fractions and some are decimals, I'm going to convert each fraction to a decimal. So for example, 2/5 is the same as 2 divided by 5, which is 0.4. So I'm going to rewrite that as a 0.4. And then minus 2 and 1/4, I'm going to keep that whole number 2, but 1/4 is the same as 1 divided by 4, which is 0.25. So 2 and 1/4 is 2 and 2.25x. Make sure you don't lose that x. And the same with 3 and 3/4. I still have my +3, but 3/4 is the same as 3 divided by 4. And 3 divided by 4 is 0.75. So this is 3.75. Now that I have these all as decimals, now I'm going to distribute. So I'm going to take the number outside of the parentheses, and I'm going to distribute it to each number inside of the parentheses. So 0.4 times 1.5 times x, I can multiply the 0.4 times the 1.5, and I get 0.6. So that's 0.6x. And then 0.4 times -7.5, that's going to be negative. When I put that in my calculator, I get 0.3. And then everything else stays the same. And now I'm going to combine my like terms now that the parentheses are gone to help kind of make it more obvious what my like terms are to combine. I could first rearrange these terms so that the like terms are next to each other. So for example, that 0.6x, are there any others that are alike that have an x? It's right here. I'm going to put that negative or minus 2.25x next to the 0.6x. And then my constants, negative or minus 0.3 and positive or plus 3.75 go next to each other as well. Now I can more clearly see the ones that need to be combined. If I put this into my calculator, you combine your coefficients. 0.6 minus 2.25 is negative 1.65. So 0.6x minus 2.25x is 0, or is 1, negative 1.65x. And then the same here. Negative 0.3 plus 3.75 is positive, so plus 3.45. And there you go.